My name is Activate, and this is going to be my review for Kendrick Lamar's new album titled Damn. If you're unfamiliar with the way that I score my albums, you can go onto one of the other videos on this same channel, and it's titled The Album Review Scoring System. So, brief review of my scoring system. I have it broken down into 4 categories for each song. It's skill, style, chorus, and beat. Abbreviations here: SK, ST, C, and B. Score, style, chorus, beat. For skills, style, and chorus, you get a score of 1 through 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. And for the beat, because I think it should carry more weight because the music is half of the song, the beat is scored from 1 to 10. So there's a little bit more wiggle room and it carries a little bit more weight. So when I first heard Humble, that first single that I heard, I was excited. I thought that was a fantastic song, and I had not listened to a Kendrick album all the way through from front to back, but I had heard enough that I knew that he was really talented, and that song got me fired up about doing this review. So I got my hands on a copy of the whole album, went ahead and just set some time aside. I listened to it from beginning to end, all the way through, and sadly I was no longer excited about it. I gotta admit, I was not particularly into it really at all. There was only a couple of songs that I really dug, and Humble turned out to be far and away the best song on the album. I felt like it was more of an experimental album, and I'm all for artists going ahead and pushing to come up with some new styles, some new variations, to do something new and fresh. A lot of people dig it. They're stoked about it. But for me personally, I didn't care for it. But I went ahead and broke down each song point by point. And as you can see up here, I mean, these are the numbers that I came up with. I scored each one as objectively as I could. Again, I do my best to not base it on whether or not I like it, but as more on whether or not I think that it's quality. And I think that stylistically, there was a lot of really interesting things that he did with this album, but as far as skill, I was just not impressed. There was only a couple of songs in which his emceeing skills really shined, and the rest of it, it just didn't do it for me, and I just thought that there was just a lot lacking in the skill department. I thought that he could have done a lot better job. The beats, those are a bit more subjective whether you like them or not, but there was a lot left to be desired for me, for my personal taste. So like I said, Humble was far and away the best song on the album, and Yeah was the worst. I didn't think that there was really anything impressive about it at all. So if you throw this one out, then you get a better score that I think puts it at about a 72%. The way I came up with the percentage and the school scoring, like 90% and up is an A, 80 to 90% is a B, and so on. Basically, most of these songs have all the elements in them, and I scored them as you can see how I did each scoring. So like at Humble as an example, it got a total score of 22 points. I took 22 out of 25. That gave me a percentage. For Pride, I gave it 18 points. 18 out of 25 gave me a percentage. Through all these songs, I got the total score, divided it by 25. In the case of Duckworth, I did it out of 20 because there really isn't a chorus, so I omitted that category entirely. So this got a total score of 14, but it's out of 20 points instead of 25. And essentially what I did was I took an average of all of that. So I added up all the total scores, added all that up, divided it by the number of songs, and that gave me an average score of 70. So to me, and that actually lands right about on what I felt like this album overall did for me. I think that the overall grade is about a C. It's average. It's okay. A lot of people are real hyped on it, and they think that it's already a classic, and it's one of their favorites, and it's going to be one of the all-time great albums. I doubt it. I think that in the not-too-distant future, it's gonna get knocked off pretty quick. It's hot right now, but I think it's one of those cases of it's simply trendy. I think the fact that Kendrick is the name on the album is what is pushing people to think that it's as good as they happen to think that it is. I think it's like a brand name. He could have put out a much better product. Again, my opinion. But you can see how I broke it down. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Feel free to tell me how terribly wrong I am in the comment section. That's totally okay. That's what makes this interesting.